Hello, I'm Nathan. Welcome back to WMF Reacts. If this is your first time here, then welcome and join me on my musical journey. Today is Thursday, so it's time for some country music. And as I've said the past couple of videos, I have set up a Patreon as well if you wanted to support me directly in keeping this channel going. I have one member already, which is like quite a surprise. I didn't expect anyone to, but hey, thank you. I do really appreciate it. Said if you do want to support, then feel free. It's not expensive. I'm not expecting anybody to, but if you want to, it's a great way to make suggestions, because sometimes comments get lost. There's been a lot of comments flying around, and sometimes it's difficult to see comments that are giving me suggestions for new videos. So it's a good way to do it. And I have set up a Discord as part of that, where we can start doing polls and start voting and that kind of thing. So it makes life a lot easier to get your suggestions going. But anyway, we shall carry on with today. I said if you do enjoy then please comment, like, subscribe, all the usual things, and make suggestions. That would be excellent. So we're going to go first. Our first patron member is Joel JB60, who has made this suggestion. So it's Sierra Ferrell. See at the bottom of the rainbow, it's audio tree on stage. So we shall have a look. I have no idea what to expect. Let's have a listen. It's live concerts from home.
Is everyone having a good time? That's good.
Interesting look. Double bass. Like a ukulele or something, and a violin.
The sea, it's such a salty, magic place. If you found yourself going under, you'll remember the days. The waves, the waves, the waves, how they're putting out my flames. Now, whoa, that's okay, I should be more tame.
Okay, interesting start. It's not quite country, but we'll just go with it and see. So I quite like the stage setup with the color changing. Interesting music as well. It's quite understated and just kind of more along the lines of kind of old standards and that kind of thing, you know. Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, more of that kind of vibe, which is something I quite like as well. I'm a big fan of like Michael Bublé. I've seen live as well. It was incredible. So it's quite interesting lyrics and so on. In fact, I should probably put the subtitles on as well. That'll help on it. So we'll go back to the beginning anyway. I liked what she just did with her voice. It made me think of Olive Oil from Popeye. Let's just go back to that bit.
How they're putting out my flames. Now, whoa, that's okay, I should be more tame.
Yeah, definitely Olive Oil and that kind of thing from the old cartoons. That's what that reminded me of. So let's go back to the beginning. Start that again. This is quite interesting. Something a little bit different.
Is everyone having a good time? That's good.
Kind of haunted music in there.
The sea, the sea, the sea, it's such a salty, magic place.
It's got it. I put the subtitles on and it's just not work. So let's see the sheep. It's such a salty magic place. And being from Wales, that's not something I want to hear. That's just wrong. All right, so we're going to go back. All right, let's go back to the beginning of it. Because that's just, yeah, that messed that up, didn't it? Well done, YouTube. That was amazing. Let's see, this seems such a salty way. That's just awful. Making fun of me.
The sea, the sea, the sea. It's such a salty magic place. If you found yourself going under, you'll remember the days.
It doesn't do much to say.
The waves, the waves, the waves. How they're putting out my flames. Now, whoa, that's okay. I should be more tame. So please hide and give me life. Let me breathe like a Pisces with blue eyes. Our cancer is calling by. But I'm asking you this time, please don't you let my love run dry.
I can imagine this music being on like Fallout games and that sort of thing. It's very kind of, 40s, 50s. It's that old kind of vibe to it, which I don't mind at all. I like a lot of old music. I said I'm a big fan of like Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, Andy Williams, so many different people. Because I grew up with a lot of that kind of thing. But my parents are in their 70s now. Sorry, tell everyone my parents' ages. So there's quite a variety of music. My dad was more kind of rock and blues and jazz and that kind of thing, and my mum was more kind of pop, Beatles, Beach Boys, and that sort of vibe. But I also heard a lot of older stuff from old relatives and that sort of thing. So I've been exposed to lots of different music from lots of different eras, from my gran and uncles and all that kind of thing as well. So I've kind of grown up with a lot of different music and watching the older cartoons when I was growing up. I said things like Popeye and all the really old ones like that had this kind of music, Betty Boop and people like that. That's what this makes me think of. The old kind of speakeasies and all that kind of thing. That's what makes me think of this kind of music. So it's quite interesting.
I'm so tired of you leaving me with a sigh.
More of a hoedown. Cool. I stopped there because I realize I'm just kind of listening and not doing that much kind of talking about it, which maybe it's a good thing for a lot of people. The voice is really interesting. You know, it's all those old ones, Vera Lynn. There's so many of the old, you know, maybe 30s even and 40s and that sort of thing, and like during the war. Obviously, from the UK, we had a lot of that music when I was growing up. So we learned a lot about, you know, World War, Britain in the Blitz, and all that sort of thing. So the White Cliffs of Dover, and all that kind of songs are in our recent history, as it were. And I grew up listening to a lot of the kind of wartime songs, you know, Pack Up Your Troubles and all that kind of thing, which a lot of people in other countries won't know those songs. But I grew up with a lot of that, so it just kind of, it triggers memories in me for kind of the old-fashioned stuff, which is kind of nice. And she's got quite an interesting voice that, I said, does hark back to those times and the cartoons I used to watch then. I've said, you know, Olive Oil and Popeye and things like that. So it's really interesting. The music isn't quite from that era. Some of it, I said, more like a hoedown. So it's got a little bit of the country vibes within it. Then it goes back to the standards and goes back to, you know, the speakeasies and the wartime songs. It's so many kind of eras this crosses over with. It's really interesting. I'm enjoying it. It's one of those things I could just kind of listen to. I could imagine, you know, sipping a whiskey, relax in the room, and just kind of listening to it and not having to think about it too much. The lyrics are quite interesting. There's a lot of rhyming in there as well, all about the sea and the waves and the flames, and there's a lot of, you know, rhyming convention and so on going in that. It's not overly rich with lots of lyrics. There is some repetition in there as well. It's fine, but it's not about that. For me, it's the kind of vibe I'm getting from it, and I'm enjoying it.
Please don't you let my love run dry. I'm so tired of you leaving me with a sigh. And now I'm so tired of you leaving me with a sigh.
Reminds me of a more modern artist as well. I'm not saying this isn't modern. It also reminds me of somebody else. Let me see much of that. But that's the kind of vibe I get from her as well. But obviously the little bits as well with the kind of cartoony influence I'm getting there, like Betty Boop and Olive Oil and things like that. Go back to some of those bits. So
But I'm asking you this time, please don't you let my love run dry. I'm so tired of you leaving me with a sigh.
no, that's cool. I really like that. I'm gonna have to look into more. There's a lot more to this concept, but I'm not gonna listen to all of it. The request was the first song, otherwise I will carry on for too long, and the video is going to be like, you know, an hour long, which is probably a little bit too long for a reaction. But no, I really like that. That was different. It wasn't exactly country, but it had a mix of a lot of different things with some country influences, mainly on the music in the middle and the guy with the cowboy hat on, obviously. Well, more fedora than a cowboy hat in it, really. Maybe. It's hard to tell the difference. I don't know enough about it. I do like hats like that, but I don't wear many hats. Maybe I should. I'll think about that in the future. Anyway, thanks all for joining me. This was really interesting. So thank you very much again for the suggestion and being my first Patreon member. So that is absolutely fantastic and unexpected, I must admit. So if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe, all the rest. If you didn't like it, let me know what you didn't like. And maybe I can try and do something that you will like later. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Join me again soon. Bye-bye for now.